last session of What's Cooking. Unfortunately, it is our last session. So today, we're actually going to be making chicken enchilada casserole.
Awesome.
And so for today, I wanted to start off with a quick question. And I wanted to ask, did anybody make anything, cook anything cool this weekend?
We made lemon pie for Easter.
Pie.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It is my favorite Thai dessert.
What kind of pie was it?
It is it's lemon pie. My grandmother's my father's mother, Mimi. That's her recipe called lemon pie.
Oh, very cool, Francis.
Yeah.
It is
There's Jimmy.
huh?
Oh, Jimmy. Jimmy's rolling on. Just wanted to say hello, Jimmy.
Hi.
There he is.
Francis, did it turn out well?
You what?
Did the pie turn out well?
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Good meringue.
That sounds good.
Let's see. We went to Waverly in Mississippi. We had Easter lunch
Nice.
with my aunt, my cousins, and my grandparents. So everybody came.
Sounds like a really fun time, Francis.
Yeah.
It does.
All right. So how about we go ahead and get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, as always, we're going to start off with our little checklist. However, we are going to not spend as much time on it today. We're going to go pretty quickly, just so we can dive right into the recipe. So, Michelle, is there anything you wanted to share for that, or should we just do it without?
Yeah, I'll just bring this up for you to see from that email Matthew sent of our list of ingredients. And he's going to run through and make sure we've got everything we need before we dive in.
All right, so to start off, we're gonna need our 2 teaspoons of olive oil. So we should have our olive oil and our teaspoon measuring cup.
Put the olive side.
We should have our onion, which I already chopped off, but you do not have to have it chopped at this time. We should have our pepper, which I also cut up.
Pepper?
You just mean ground pepper, Matthew?
Not just ground pepper, Michelle, but bell pepper. Green bell pepper, or a yellow one like Elaine has.
I know. Michelle's got red. We don't like to follow all the rules.
All
You can
different
tell.
colors.
We like to cook outside the lines.
Yeah. You should have, you just showed garlic, or you can have garlic salt. I have garlic salt. You should have your beans, can of beans. Michelle and I have the same kind, and me and Elaine from Publix. Apparently we favorite Publix a lot.
Like the pop top on that variety.
Yeah. We should have our can of corn. We should have our can of chilies. We should have our chicken which we will get to in a minute, I'm going to ask what kind everybody has.
Yes.
We should have our 2 cans of enchilada sauce.
Enchilada sauce, and then we have these.
We should have our tortillas,
in the fridge.
which the recipe calls for 18. However, you can pretty much use many as you want. We should have our cheddar cheese shredded.
I got some of these mayo chilies.
Yeah, I think I have mild chili as well, Jimmy. And we should have either Monterey Jack, or I went for, to add my own little personal touch, the Mexican 4-cheese blend.
Oh, I would have got that.
And I believe that is it in terms of our ingredients. Now, we'll move on to our materials that we will need. So we will need our baking dish.
Dish.
We will need our skillet, which I used a high top skillet. Shows a high top skillet. We will need a kitchen spoon, which I need to go grab that real quick. Kitchen spoon. Oh,
Yeah,
look
we've
at
got our
that.
own spoon.
Nice, Kelly. Just for you.
A previous cooking class.
I love that, Kelly.
Nice, yeah.
Souvenir.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next, we will need a kitchen knife, which, as always, a reminder to handle with care. We should need our cutting board. Cutting board. We should need our drainer for our beans and our corn. We should need our spatula. And then we will need cooking spray.
Cookie spray. I got it.
And a pizza cutter to cut the casserole, your enchilada casserole. Alrighty, so with that being said, are we ready to wash our hands for our first step?
Yes.
Ready.
Let's do it. I'm gonna bring you on over. Make sure we get those 20 seconds in.
Okay.
Nice. Alrighty, everyone have their hands washed? Thumbs up, ready to go? Nice, Francis. Alrighty. So for our next step and our first official step towards our recipe, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drain our corn and our beans. So we have a drainer. You can set that in your sink. And for my can of corn, I'm going to need a can opener. This little utensil here. So what we can do, we can do one at a time and then place the beans and the corn in 2 separate bowls after they are drained. And if anyone needs any assistance, feel free to step in at any time.
Hey, Seth, I don't know if, I just want to check to see if you're still there. Your camera's off, but if you want to turn it on, we'd love to see you.
I've had it on. It seems to be jamming up. We'll try to restart.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
What's the first step? What are you doing now?
I know what they're saying, I just don't know what
Making sure that our beans are drained. Well, it looks like.
In the corn?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's what they're saying.
Washing out my
Phone is still charging.
4.
Does everyone know what to do?
What are we doing?
Good.
Beans, corn, drained.
Yes.
Check, check.
Okay, so let's drain our beans and put this in.
And Matthew, can we keep those 2 items mixed together, corn and beans?
For me personally,
Drain.
as I said, you can get 2 bowls and put one in each bowl. You could maybe keep them together.
Yeah, see,
Making them together.
Kelly went that route. I think
Yeah.
Elaine went that route. I did too.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Figured they all end up in the same place.
Yeah. Nice planning to go ahead to move forward with.
Does anybody know why we rinse them off?
I don't know.
Anybody want to take a guess? Michelle, do you want to take a guess? Do you know?
Yeah. Well, so with beans, I thought that if you don't rinse them off, you're more likely to have more gas.
I've heard that. I was not putting you on the spot for that answer, but I like it.
Yeah.
Do you have a different reason we rinse them off, Elaine?
I thought like partly because you don't want it to have all the juice, right? Because then it would make our enchilada super soggy. But the other thing, I've heard your solution or your answer, and I think that, it's partly because of what's on them. So it's got a lot of like lots and lots of salt associated with it, and some of that other preservatives, so that you're kind of like rinsing it off. So if anybody else knows something different, please share.
Yeah. Still working on that corn. Sorry, guys.
And just in case anyone needs to pull this recipe up on their own, it's in the chat box. But as Chef Matthew continues going step by step, we'll show the recipe as we go.
There we go.
Where's the check?
If you want to get to the chat box, it's at the very bottom of the screen for most people, with a little blow up blurb, almost like a speaking box. You can click on that.
How do you go back?
And it'll say, like, if you haven't clicked on it, it'll say, like, for instance, mine says 1. So that means there's somebody's typed something in.
Rinse it off.
Okay.
Michelle, if you want to go ahead and pull that recipe up.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Is this where you want us to start?
Yes. So our next step is to preheat the oven to 350 degrees.
Oh, we gotta chop this.
I got it.
Well, I'll turn it.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
More skillet on heavy roll.
Onion and peppers and the until.
All right. So we have our onion or our oven preheated.
You wanna preheat the oven to 350? Bake?
Getting there.
350, Mom.
Yes, that's
This
it.
is last, right?
That's good. Don't push it soon enough.
I'll do it. Like that.
All right. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and get our skillet ready to go. So in a large skillet over medium heat,
How's that look, guys?
heat 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil.
Goes up
All right.
So before you actually turn on the stovetop, let's go through what's going into that olive oil, Matthew, and see if we have any chopping needs or any prep needs.
Yes. So we will have our onion and our pepper that will go in first. And then after that, we're going to add our garlic or our garlic powder. And then after that, finally, we're going to add our everything, our chicken, our corn, and our beans.
Oh, this.
Okay, so I'm going to stop share at this
Yes.
point because we've got a few tasks ahead of us.
Yes, that's what we do. So, actually, back up just 1 second. Before we heat our get our skillet going, it's all right if you have though. Let's see what kind of chicken that we have that we are using.
Michelle, I need a close up.
Nice.
So I didn't go the chicken or the frozen chicken route. I bought some chicken and I cooked it up and shredded it ahead of time.
Yeah, you did. Looks awesome.
For me, I went with the frozen route, and instead of shredded, I used diced.
Okay. I see some other bags being held up. Keep holding those bags up, guys. Grilled and ready. Nice, Kelly. I think I saw Francis, Isaiah. You guys have some similar chicken strips. Perfect.
Are we supposed to cut those up?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was why I said back up before we I got a little ahead, and make sure we cut those up before we put them in.
I only got the rotisserie chicken,
Oh, nice idea, Jimmy.
Nice.
and it's all cut up.
Yeah, perfect.
Good idea.
Perfect. So I would say if you started heating your oil, turn off your stovetop.
Yes.
Because right now is our chopping phase. If you haven't chopped your chicken, you'll chop that. What else have we got to chop, Matthew?
We have to chop our onion and our pepper.
All right.
So yeah, I got a little.
Let's chop to it.
Yeah, I got a little sidetracked because my can opener wasn't wanting to cooperate with me with opening my corn. So got a little ahead.
And I don't know if you guys can see this because it is small. My lighting is a little strange in my kitchen, but this is about the size of my onion, right? So see how it's chopped pretty small into pretty small pieces.
Yeah.
So kind of like a diced.
Ooh, you guys, I got a really potent onion tonight. It's getting all into my sinuses. I might even cry.
So Michelle,
Yeah.
I am so glad you said that because Gigi recently told me a trick. Does anybody else know this? That you take a piece of paper towel and wet it and put it next to where you're chopping. And
What do I-
just put it next to it. A wet paper towel.
Is that to wipe the tears away from my eyes?
No, it apparently sucks the gases or whatever it is into the paper towel.
What?
I have never heard that.
I know, but she told me, and then all of a sudden somebody was over and they said the exact same thing. And apparently it's some big hit on TikTok. I don't watch that, so I don't really know, but you can check it out. But apparently it helps to, yeah, so if you have a potent onion, it helps to, so you don't have just eyes burning, tears flowing.
Well,
Well,
she would have said
very
that
cool.
about 5 minutes ago.
I know, right? So I haven't tried it, but next time you guys will have to try it, let me know.
I think let's see. I think Hannah has her special apron on tonight.
Nice, Hannah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everything looking good so far.
Help, my dad.
Teresa, did your onion roll away?
Pepper.
The pepper.
I rolled away.
So my brother used to work for a pizza place, and it was called Figaro's. And he said they used a lot of bell peppers. And so what he would do is he would get this middle part out by pushing his thumb in. You see that?
Oh,
So I pushed that in, and then they would slice it down and just pull the whole thing out.
interesting.
So because you know on the inside are all those little itty bitty seeds that you want to scrape off. You don't want to cook those seeds or eat those seeds. They're real, yeah, they're not good. So if you didn't see, I just pushed it in with my thumb, And then I'm going to slice it in half and pull that whole thing out.
Ah, new trick. I like that too, Michelle.
Yeah,
Nice cooking technique.
thank you. So I'll show you on the inside now. I just sliced it in half. It makes it really easy to just pull that whole thing out. And I feel kind of like, who is that? Jackie Lee? The karate guy?
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan!
I mean, I thought you were going to say Rachel Ray. You know?
Is it?
I've never heard of that one before.
All right. All the peppers are in the pan.
My oven preheated.
And so when we chop up our bell peppers, how small do we want these to be, Matthew?
We want those to be diced as well. So
Nice.
also, it is your personal preference as well.
Okay.
So as big or as small as you'd like them. So I have a question. So for your enchilada sauce, how many of you have a can like this? Or cans like this? So what you can do before you get your skillet going is that you can go ahead and use your can opener to get those open before you start putting things into your skillet. However,
Well, I already went on ahead and did that,
nice, thinking ahead, Jimmy.
but we accidentally tore up one of the cans.
It happens to the best chefs, Jimmy. It's okay.
So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do since I already have my onion and my pepper cut up.
Nice. I see some busy chefs in their kitchens.
Or like busy bees.
That's right. This is the season for pollen and bees. Have you guys seen them outside around the flowers and bushes?
Oh, yes.
Lots of busy bees.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I might do the next pan.
All right, hang on.
Next pan.
Everyone's cutting, going well.
And Matthew, you might have said this and I missed it, but with the enchilada sauce, you can go ahead and open up your green chilies if you're using green chilies.
Yes, good idea.
So
So the
here's
goal-
another fun fact I have for you guys about green chilies. And that is
All right.
about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, you couldn't find them anywhere.
Why not?
Because this whole pandemic, Michelle, basically, I mean, I searched, you're talking about every store in town. So I have something I like to make with them. Couldn't find them anywhere. What we came up with was one of the guys that works at the grocery said a lot of the factories have shut down production for certain things so that they could make more bulk quantities of stuff, right? And so green chilies wasn't necessarily a priority. So they were probably making, something else at that factory. But lucky for us, back in stock.
Nice. we would have had to dice our own chilies a couple months ago.
Are you having trouble with the can opener? Teresa?
Yeah.
Is it sticking on you? Here, you can put these in the pan in just a minute, and we'll put some water in the pan to cook them up. And then I'll be able to I'll cut up the chicken real quick. I should have had it ready.
Bring it. Open that. Right.
Oh yeah, that was hard.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone looking good so far?
Yep. Is the next step with putting the onions?
Put the onions in the skillet.
Okay.
Nice, Teresa. So I guess I'm curious, who has their onion and their pepper chopped? If you do, either give a thumbs up or raise your hand. Kelly, Jimmy, Teresa, Isaiah, Francis, I see you. Hannah, Seth, how about you? Are you still chopping? Or are you good? Catherine, all right, nice. So it looks like from our recipe, what was that next step for you?
Yeah, so after we have everything ready to go, now we can use this time to go ahead and heat up our pan.
I'll go ahead and do that right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we will need 2 tablespoons of olive oil into a medium heat. Medium is goes great up. So you can put in the onions, put in the bell pepper.
So has everybody got their oil in their pan? Because it should be heating up pretty quickly.
I do.
And you can kind of start to hear it. Like you can hear that oil starting to sizzle a little bit in the pan. So once it's ready, your peppers and your onions, they're gonna go in, right, Matthew?
Yeah.
And you'll be cooking about 5 minutes until they're sort of soft.
Stir that, Teresa, with
Okay.
Right here.
Onion and pepper up. And so it won't move.
yeah, you have to hold the handle.
All right. Oh, you guys, but the pan is looking really colorful and very beautiful. Yep.
Sounds like, Jimmy, you're in your element.
Yep.
You know, it's something I love about cooking down vegetables like this, the onion and the bell pepper in the oil, is that sizzle that I talked about kind of reminds me of like a gentle rain outside.
Mm-hmm.
Sizzling in the background. It's kind of a comforting sound to me. I'm starting to hear it behind me.
Yeah, mine's still getting.
I can already hear it sizzling behind me too as well. And it sounds like those veggies are going to get softened until they become translucent.
Yeah, nice, Jimmy. And Matthew, I'll share this again real quick here to see about, because we're getting into our time crunch,
Yes.
that while the onion and pepper are cooking, should we be doing something else?
Yeah. So, as that is cooking, we can go ahead and get our half a cup enchilada sauce ready to go. However, not pour in yet, but getting ready to. If there's
And even before that, Matthew, sorry to cut you off, but I don't want to miss the garlic. That we need to
Yeah.
dice our garlic to go in
Yes.
next.
That's what to do if you're using garlic powder.
So that gentle rain that you hear in the background might start to sound like more of a
Mm.
thunderstorm.
Can you
Stir
say,
it every once in a while.
and can we go ahead and put in our garlic powder or not just yet?
Not just yet, Jimmy. We're gonna wait until, like you said, it gets softer and a little more translucent.
You better stir these things.
That's right, you guys. I heard somebody say you have to stir them. So yeah, as we've kind of talked about, our ovens, as well as our stovetops, will cook a little bit different. Everybody's will. Some will be hotter than others, and so you want to make sure that you're really keeping an eye on it and stir it as well, so you don't burn any of it.
So you can go ahead and start stirring that around with the spatula.
Ooh, those onions
So,
and bell pepper
Coming
smell
back to the
good.
garlic, everyone, if your veggies are cooking too hot or too fast, you can turn that heat down a little bit while you check it and stir. So the recipe said 2 cloves of garlic, right, Matthew?
Yes. Or you can add in some garlic salt.
So I just want to make sure we know what cloves look like. Here are 2. This one's a little smaller. They're different sizes. So depending on how much you love garlic, Elaine might put in some extra. You look at her screen right down there. And this is where you could either use a garlic press, right? Got that? Or you could carefully mince it, which is what I have to do. So be careful with your fingers if that's what's happening. It gets a little sticky.
That's right, you guys. There's all sorts of options. You can buy minced garlic in the jar as well. Here, and I have a garlic press. And if you're using garlic powder,
That bell pepper was cooked nice and soft.
it doesn't give you doesn't tell you how much to use as far as the powder over the 2 garlic cloves. But I would say you kind of want to start small, right? So I wouldn't put in more than 2 tablespoons. So I would start with 1 tablespoon actually. And that would probably go a long way because it is concentrated, right? So that would be my suggestion.
Good idea, Elaine.
I didn't hear that, but can you repeat it again?
So Elaine was talking about garlic, minced garlic in the jar, right, Elaine?
Mm-hmm.
Or garlic powder, either one. And about how much you should put in. Jimmy, Are you using fresh garlic or garlic powder?
Garlic powder.
Tell you what, let's use minced garlic.
Minced garlic.
Oh, you're using minced garlic? So I would say, I mean, if it was me, remember, I do like garlic. I would probably put in a heaping tablespoon of minced garlic. Would probably be about the same. And if I was using garlic powder, I would only put 1 tablespoon. And I would smooth it out so it's not too much.
Everyone looking good so far?
What would Rachel Ray do? I don't know.
Ooh, I love to hear that sizzle in the background. Don't forget to stir those veggies.
Yeah.
Very quiet. People must be working hard.
Can anyone remind me when we add the garlic? The bell pepper and onion?
I believe it's after you throw it in the pan.
Sorry, I didn't catch that, Matthew.
Sorry, my pan's pretty loud. It's after you throw in the onion and the pepper into the pan.
Double check here. So it told us cook until soft, about 5 minutes, which I think we've come to about that point. So check those veggies, see if they're starting to get soft. And if so, and your garlic is ready, now is the time to add it in and cook for 1 more minute.
Beans, corn, chicken, and green chili.
And definitely make sure you're stirring that garlic around or it will burn.
That's right, you don't want it to burn.
Let's need a 1/2 cup of garlic.
All right.
Good. All right, that looks like it's getting done.
And then
We're gonna turn it down a little bit to between medium and low. It's getting done. The next step, once they get to it, is going to be putting in the beans, the corn, the chicken, and the green chilies.
Ooh, I love that smell.
And then we gotta put, these are for a 1/2 cup of enchilada sauce. And just leave it here. This is for the 1/2 cup in there. And just leave it there. A little bit more. Good. Okay. And then let's just leave it there. This goes over all right.
For,
Yeah.
you want to pour it in here
Yeah.
or what? Mom, I don't know.
Just leave it on the counter because we're not ready yet. Six tortillas.
Everyone doing good?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Thumbs up.
Okay, so you got tortillas.
All right.
I'm getting there. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
All right.
It's gonna be yummy.
All right. So after we've got our garlic in, what is next, you guys?
So after that, we add our beans, corn, and our chicken, as well as our green chilies.
And then you put this in.
Do you want me to use this
Yeah, it's good.
spoon
Yeah.
to pour it in?
Mhm.
That all we're gonna pour into the skillet.
All right. And just
That's
Yeah.
right, Jenny.
It all goes in, Jim. shimmy to the skillet. That's right. The corn, the black beans, and the green chilies.
All right. We're now in the skillet.
And we're gonna cook that for about 5 minutes. Basically, we're just warming it all up. Oh, did I mention? And did we mention the chicken?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so yeah, and the chicken, sorry.
Oh, beans, corn, chickens, and green chili.
Okay. All right.
Make sure you stir that around once everything's in.
Yeah. All right. All right.
You stir it around for about 5 minutes, she said.
Okay.
Can I have a turn to read?
Sure.
So it's not sticking on the bottom.
So once you've added all those ingredients, the beans, corn, chicken, and green chilies, we're going to cook until it's warmed through, which is about 5 minutes.
Correct.
So I'm going to show you guys what mine looks like right now, all together. I hope your pans are a little deeper than mine. I'm full up to the brim on this one, but we've got peppers, corn, chicken, green chilies, beans, and onion and garlic.
Looking good.
This is what, hold on. This is what mine looks like.
Ooh. Nice. Like the different colors going on. Nice, Seth. Beautiful.
How's everybody looking? See Seth is looking good.
Okay. Bring you guys over. Starting to come together.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hannah, nice.
Miss Elaine,
Good.
Yes.
I want to show you something.
Yes, please.
Ooh.
Isn't that beauty?
That looks beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All these smells, you guys, are sure making my stomach start to get hungry. So, yeah, it looks really pretty for sure.
Everybody's chicken cooking well.
Do we have that add sauce too, Matthew?
That is going to be our next step. So hold on just a second,
Okay.
Francis. So now that we have everything cooking in our pan, we can go ahead and pour.
Are we supposed to have the oven preheated first?
Yes, that was, yeah, we did that a little bit ago, Jimmy.
So Jimmy, if your oven isn't preheated, go ahead and put it on 350.
Yes, 350 degrees.
All right, just pour it on.
So next, go ahead and get our enchilada sauce ready.
So it looks like, Matthew, it says to reserve half, what does it say? Here we go, reserve half a cup of
Yes,
enchilada sauce. So we're gonna set that to the side, I'm guessing?
yes. So when I made this recipe before, I did just half a can. Or you can really just put half do pretty much any whatever you feel comfortable with. Your personal preference.
So
While that
basically,
cooks.
you guys, that remainings, or like Matthew said, he just used like a half a can and kept it out. So you're gonna use that as we actually prepare or make the enchilada pieces, right? It'll go on the bottom as well as drizzled on the top. So the other part that you have can now go into your big saucepan.
Okay, so you can take the other enchilada sauce, put it in your saucepan.
Which pan?
This one that has a chicken in it.
Which one?
Both cans.
Okay, both pans that for it?
Yep. One at a time.
Hold it. And there we go.
Put them both in. Mix it all up.
Really good.
Everyone doing okay? Our enchilada sauce.
And what's next?
Hold on, just 1 second, Jimmy. You're gonna allow everyone to get caught up.
Let's see.
So after you've done that, you can go ahead and get your baking dish ready to go. While the recipe doesn't call for this, I recommend spraying some cooking spray into the dish.
Okay. There's 4 of these. You're gonna take them and put them in here and kind of blow out. That's where we might just use 3. Yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll put the other 2 in there.
Rub it all on the edges, yeah. 'cause
The
then you have
edge.
melted cheese.
And so you guys, my enchilada sauce is starting to actually boil. So you may want to check it, right? And kind of turn it down if yours is getting to that point.
Okay, you want to turn the enchilada sauce down?
Sure.
Since we're gonna begin pouring it into our pan here in a few minutes, our baking dish, you can actually go ahead and turn that off if it's starting to boil.
Is I'm gonna move this over here for a minute.
The other one in the middle. Perfect.
A wooden
Yeah.
block here so that we can move this.
Okay.
So next, if we've already done that, next we can go ahead and spread another half cup enchilada sauce into the baking dish.
Yeah.
It felt like I was giving that pan a bit of a car wash in there, guys.
Alright, so what is it? Just kind of spread it around.
So you guys, as Matthew said, you want to take that remaining sauce and you want to spread it at the bottom of your pan, okay? And so you might, if like for me, I poured a whole can in there, plus I used my other can, and so I'm gonna just pour a little bit in the bottom. I see Cynthia and Isaiah, you might have done the same thing, and then so I've got a little bit to like create that cool look on top and drizzle it on top. So I'm gonna use my half a cup sparingly.
Man, you can put these 3 back in that we just took out. Oh,
I can just open them.
So you guys can kind of see this, my pan, it's got just a thin layer at the bottom. And then I will be putting those tortillas in.
Yeah. So after that, you're gonna place layer 6 tortillas into the pan.
Okay, so put some tortillas into the pan.
Sure they overlap.
Like, what,
You're gonna put them to cover the pan.
to cover the pan,
Mm-hmm.
like here,
that goes in the middle.
Okay, and another one.
and another.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Can we use 10 instead of 16?
See how they're doing it.
With that, I think the more you have, the better. However, if you are able to make sure that everything is covered as we move along, that's the main goal.
Did you say 10 instead of 16, Jimmy? Or 6?
Yeah.
So I think that it said 6, not 16. So let's double check that. So basically you want to create a layer of tortillas that covers the bottom.
Yes.
So
Correct.
like, unfortunately, this is what I had. So I'm like tearing some apart, making a little bit different layer system.
Make sure we keep an eye on our chicken and our mixture on the stovetop.
So how are they doing it here?
So
I'll show you mine, everyone. It says to layer 6 of those tortillas in the pan.
In the
You
pan.
can see mine here. I've layered it like Elaine did. I tore one of mine, and it's just covering the bottom and
Yeah.
the top underneath it.
Yes.
She's right here.
But let's watch Michelle. 'Cause
So it's a little confusing
Yeah.
because it's not as traditional. I'll show you in the picture here. It's a casserole. So instead of being those individual rolls of enchiladas, you're layering the corn tortillas like so.
Oh, we can do that.
So
Yeah,
your
yeah,
mixer
we can
will
do
be
that.
on top of that, right, Matthew?
Yes. Well, for mine, I actually bought
Hey, man.
bigger tortillas.
No, I'm not. Bob.
Looks a little different. Let's see here if you can see.
Take that back.
Pouring my sauce everywhere. This is what mine looks like. Hold on. As you
You
can
have
see,
some bigger tortillas.
yes. I want to make sure my sauce doesn't spill everywhere.
Yeah, you guys, like Matthew and Michelle said, I had to kind of reread it a couple different times because in my mind it was the same thing, that we were going to roll them up. But this is more of this layering system. And so it'll actually be pretty cool because we won't have to, our hands won't get super hot with the enchilada chicken mixture and trying to roll it up. So I like this idea.
That's right. So does anyone have questions about that? I know it's different than what you might have expected.
Hot fest.
I see some busy chefs, so I'm gonna think that we're good for right now.
I believe so.
Guys, it's okay, guys. We got it figured out.
Nice, Jimmy. That's what all good chefs do.
That's
Put
right.
more of them on top too?
I'm sorry.
Are we gonna put more of them on top once we're done?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we are. Not yet, though. We're gonna pour some of our mixture on after we have those first 6 layers.
Okay.
Let's put some of that mixture. Be careful of the
Okay.
pan.
All right.
And then
And then put some more in this.
So yeah, Kimberly and Francis, it'll be like you'll continue that same system, that layering of
Okay.
the tortillas, then your chicken mixture, cheese, tortillas.
Oh, like a lasagna, just a couple layers, 3 layers.
Yeah, kind of think of it of a Mexican version of the lasagna.
Is there a half a cup?
Mexican cuisine.
Maybe not even a cup.
And so did you see, you guys, you're pouring a third of that mixture over the
Yes,
bottom
that-
layer of tortillas.
Yes, that is our next step. For 1/3 of mixture.
Yep.
And then you're gonna sprinkle cheese.
Make sure you're careful.
And when you do this, don't dump all the sauce in. You want to get an even part of that mixture as that third that you're putting in. A little bit of everything is going into that layer.
Maybe about half of that bag.
Yes. Spread it all out.
We have the large tortilla, so we're just making 2 layers instead of 3.
Okay.
All over the place.
Once you pour that in, you want to make sure you spread it evenly.
What are we gonna do?
It just depends on how much we. You're gonna spread that all out. Put a whole bunch over here
Trying to put a bunch
because we have a whole other bag to use.
like here. And some more here.
Now we'll get the other bag of cheese.
Yeah. A little bit more.
And put it on top.
And cheese.
Then we'll add 2 more. Yeah, on top of that.
All right. All right. You're mean.
And we're gonna add in some cheese.
Just gonna pop this
time before the next layer. Yes.
That's right. So you guys, we might all be at a little bit of a different place here, but what we've got going on so far, per Chef Matthew's instruction, is that first layer of tortillas, and then that third amount of your filling, and then cheese goes on top of that. And after that, I believe we're going to repeat. So the amount of cheese, it says a third of the total amount. So the recipe calls for 2 cups of cheddar, 2 cups of Monterey Jack. You're going to do a little more than a cup of cheese on this first layer, if you're choosing to do 3 layers.
Maybe on the side. Maybe what?
Maybe one more.
Maybe one more on this one. And that.
Right away. Good job. And that looked delicious.
Are we doing some of both or some of them different?
Very good.
I can't figure this stuff out.
Ask your question again, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do stuff? Are we gonna do these cheeses both or different? That's the question.
So, Matthew, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, you can, for each layer, we're gonna add, some of both
Right.
with about 1/3 of cheese.
1/3 cheese.
So that turns into just over a cup of cheese, right, Matthew?
Correct.
There's my leg.
So I'm going to show you guys where I'm at for an example. So I've got my first layer on the bottom, you can see, and then I filled with 1/3 of that filling mixture. I topped it with just over a cup of cheese, and now I've put on my second layer of tortillas.
Okay, let's put some more in the corners.
All right. Where's everybody else at right now? Are we still on that first layer? Moving on to the second.
I'm doing the second layer.
Oh,
Nice, Teresa. Oh, beautiful. Isaiah's scooping in that first layer. I love it.
We can move this.
Kelly's cruising right along.
yep, we did our 2 layers.
All right.
We'll let you know.
So I love that you guys are doing 2 layers, Nancy and Kelly, because just to show, as Matthew says, you can tailor this to what you prefer.
Yep.
Yes.
If you want 2 layers and to cut everything in half, that works too. The recipe just calls for 3. So for those of you who are sticklers in following the recipe, that's what we'll do.
Oh, we had such big tortillas.
Now,
Oh yeah.
the rest of that. Really carry and hold it, and you can just dump it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna dump.
Listen, come here, Michelle. I ain't no stickler.
Dump all this in.
So beat it.
I'm just gonna put it all around.
Teresa looking good.
Amen. I'm gonna just put some more cheese on top.
That looks good, you guys.
And I'm just gonna.
Should we put more tortillas on to make the second layer?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You can add as many tortillas as you want.
And maybe I'll just put on sides. And the sides too.
It's a lot of cheese.
So take your fingers and just
Yeah. I might.
do it however you want, or you could add more cheese. You can do whatever.
I might add more cheese to the
You
corners.
don't have to use all that cheese. We're you think?
Spread that all around.
I might just put it on the sides too. All right. I think I'm done with the cheese. No, I'm done with the cheese. And finish the whole dish. So that's the dish that I'm done.
Good job, Teresa. Yeah, you turn it up this way. Yes, see, there you go. There's Teresa's.
There's mine.
Nice. Very cool, Teresa. Looks great. Oh, Elaine. I love it. So I noticed I didn't have enough inside filling to make 3 layers. So I followed you guys, Kelly and Nancy, and I made 2.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
however many layers you decide to do, you'll be finishing with cheese.
Okay. 6:20. So 30 minutes, it'll be done. There's that, and there's that.
So you guys, as I see and hear you guys talking, some of you are showing your done enchilada mix and ready to go. And I heard somebody saying that theirs was going in the oven. So if you're at that stage and you're ready, I believe that your oven was already preheated. And then you would put it in there basically for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. If you already have your layers ready, you can go ahead and stick that in the oven for 30 minutes.
And I just want to add, it says for 30 minutes or until the cheese is melty and the sauce is bubbly on the outside. So we always want to set those timers to keep us on track, but you can also check in on it because our ovens bake at different temps, even though we all set them to 350.
I'm trying to keep working.
You set your timer, Teresa?
For what?
30.
Okay. So I'll put timer. Timer.
Nice. Teresa's getting hers in.
You hold it.
Hannah's getting hers
Isaiah,
in.
that looks good.
Wake up. Oh, it's okay. You can go down. There you go. Excellent. All right. Good job. It's in the oven. Where we do the oven.
Yeah.
How's everybody looking?
We're in the oven.
Yep.
Can't wait to eat this.
Like that. It looks yummy.
Yeah, Isaiah's putting some finishing touches on his. Special Chef Isaiah touch to the casserole dish. You see how he's sprinkling with his fingers so delicately. Very nice finesse, Isaiah.
That's right. So you guys, as people are finishing up and it's going to go in the oven here, if you've already done that, something I'm just kind of doing is I'm just putting away a few things, right? Kind of cleaning up a little bit, getting things cleaned up so that my space again is a little bit more back to normal. So while we're waiting on people, if you're if you're looking for a project, you can get some of those things for your kitchen cleaned up while we're before everybody gets theirs in their oven.
That's right. Great idea, Elaine. There's also, I don't want to steal this from Matthew before we get there, but depending on what kind of garnish you plan to put on there, you could also start some prep for the cilantro and cutting that up, and the avocado.
Yeah, we did easy. We got guacamole.
Yeah.
Guacamole.
And look at that beautiful finale, what it'll turn out to be. Did anyone here buy cilantro?
No.
Elaine did. Yeah. Austin did. Well, for those of you who didn't, just want to show you what it looks like. Nice big bunch of greens right here. Some people say it tastes to them like toothpaste, but it's pretty fresh and green and adds some good pizzazz to the top of a dish like this.
Yeah. So does everyone have their dish in the oven at this time?
Yes.
Seth says yes. Catherine, yes. Hannah.
So now that our
Sorry about that, Matthew. There was a siren out there that was distracting me.
That's okay, Jimmy. There's a lot of sirens outside my house as well. So I know we only have a few minutes left until 6:30, but I think Michelle has a slideshow for our theme tonight that we can go over while our dish is in the oven.
Also, if you guys are cutting up any of those garnishes, this is a great time to do that while Matthew kind of talks through
For sure.
the theme of tonight's dish.
Yeah. So, as we probably already know, our theme for this week is Mexican cuisine. How many, raise your hand, how many of you like Mexican cuisine? I've had it before.
I do. Me and my dad usually like to eat those all the time.
Nice.
Also for me, I love Italian.
I do too. I love me some pasta, Francis.
Oh, I want to tell you, my birthday is in my phone. We are
Nice.
sending invitations.
Coming up quick, Francis.
Yeah.
That's coming up fast.
It is. I'm gonna be 23.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
September.
22 in September.
Nice.
You guys are all getting
So, Michelle, you can go ahead and move on to the next slide. So, some history into Mexican cuisine. The basics of Mexican food can be broken down as early as 7,000 BC. when the people who there, the indigenous people, inhabited Mexico and Central America. They're actually descendants of the people who live there now. And during this time, that the wild chili pepper was very common in the area, and therefore became a favorite for the people there to enjoy. So next, some of the earliest known traces of official Mexican food was when salsa was sold in the Aztec marketplaces when they were around back in the year 1300. It was when they began to exist, really. I think Lane has to peace out. So I'll see you later. We'll see you later, Elaine. Thanks for coming.
Adios, amigo.
Adios. Enjoy.